G'day mate, and welcome back to Capital Industry with me, Jenny. Today's episode is going to be all about competing priorities because in our previous episode we got our food processor installed. It's not quite built, the fact that it needs 13,000 construction parts or something. That is construction parts 3 to build the whole thing, and I obviously can't afford that. So today we need to definitely get parts of it built, mainly for our medical needs. We also need those exact same construction parts to get a new copper mine up and running because our current copper mine is sort of running out. So let's talk about construction parts, but not before I get to ask you that very important question. Of course, the important question being, can I borrow those likes? I like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like as early as the video because I've heard the more likes I get to borrow, the more likes I get to keep, the better chance I have of making the several thousand construction parts I need just to complete this episode. Construction parts. Currently, I am making, when we find them, I am making 6 per machine. So I have 6, and then I have 4 machines, and therefore every minute or every month, depending on how you want to look at it, I'm making a total of 24. Now, if there are 12 months in a year, that means I'm making 288 per year, and last episode happened to be 12 years long. So that means in theory I make 3,456 construction parts in a single episode. I do lose a quarter of those to construction parts 4. So if we take that whole amount and divide it by 4, I lose 800, and then I multiply it back by 3. That's the amount I keep for construction parts 3, which means in theory I get to keep 2,500 of them, 2,600 of them roughly. So 2,600 parts should be all right. You in theory will fill up today's episode, providing I don't spend any of them, but I have a feeling I'm going to be spending some construction parts 4 as well. So let's talk about our first plans. Our first plans are the copper mine. Copper mine is just about done. And if there's no copper, that means there's no electronics. There's no electronics, that means there's no maintenance. If there's no maintenance, bad things happen. So I need to do something about that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to our brand new copper mine, and I'm going to load up the blueprints because it's just easier if we use a blueprint. We're going to grab our ore sorter and bring up our overlays, and that should be far enough away. And I'm going to put you there. The side the tower is on should be the side that the resources are on. I need to add a product. That's going to be copper. And then I need to, delete the iron, please. And then we can put copper in all these slots. So copper ore, more copper ore. I really wish there was a drag and drop so I could just drag a copper icon to one other slot and then just, if I held down shift, then duplicate. If I didn't hold down shift, then it just move that from one slot to another. Cool. Can I get that built? Now, this is going to be very important. I need to set this as a construction priority of now. I also need to set, obviously, at least one of the boxes for now, the other box for a now, and the other box for a now. Actually, I need to have both sets of boxes. Yeah, you're going to have the output boxes as well. We'll set the output boxes to a 2. Yeah, so I need to have this done first, before they have anything else done, because at the moment I have 158 construction parts, which is not nearly enough. Right, on top of that, I need to grab the naming scheme from our existing copper mining tower and put that on our new copper mine control tower. So that's going to be step number 1. Step number 2 is I need to, get this plugged into here. Yeah, that's sort of the next priority. There's lots of things I need to build, but I don't have the construction parts, so it's not worth worrying about that just yet. Let's worry about things I can actually do. Like, why the hell you guys are hanging around doing nothing? You're assigned to this tower. Oh, this tower doesn't have anywhere for you to dump. Oh, because it's all out there. Can I have you guys dump rock? Anywhere here, please. Cool. Well, that'd be awesome. All right. Speaking of that, can I have that box, and that box go away? Because they're all in my way. Can I get you just magically disappeared to somewhere else? Can I get you disappeared to somewhere else? And can I get you also disappeared to somewhere else? The trucks come pick that up. That is going to give me some construction parts, which is nice because I have lots of places I need to spend them. All right, next thing I need to do is I need to plug everything into the town. I really don't want to do this with trucks, obviously. I really don't want to do it with trains either. We're even doing this with belts. This is why it's placed close enough one to the other. And I need to have, a couple of different food groups. There are 11 food groups I need in here. Plus, I also need to have, just importantly, medical. So we're going to put down medical here at the far end. I can see if we click medical supplies 2, I'm going to need, what is this? 18 per month. So I don't need a whole lot of them. I just need to have them delivered. On top of that, I also need to put in our food markets Mark 2, and I need to have 11 of these, which is going to bring us all the way up to here. Cool. So that's step number one. I need to get belts from there of all the different food types down to here. I also need to potentially remove the belts I have around the outside, and I also need to get sugarcane at least being planted so it can be stored up so we can start making those medical supplies. So we're going to come to right here. In here, I'm going to put in a U-shaped sorter, flip, and I'm going to put you up one tile so I can plug from here into here. I'm going to have you filter sugar cane. Yep. Then can I get the sugar cane to come out? I guess you can be a tier 1 belt and plug into, actually no, you can be a tier 2 belt. Can I have you plug into here? Temporary. This is all temporary. Yeah. And then the potatoes, well, I want them to go forward. I also want to intentionally have you go flatter tile first before you go up to there. Thank you. I want to intentionally also have 50% of my potatoes continue on that belt, and then the other 50% of whatever's left over continue over there. So potatoes, we're going to send half them on the existing belt and half of them through the food processor. All the sugar goes through the food processor, and I didn't have that part built as well. So can we have the trucks build that? And I also need to pause that. Yep, so nothing can bypass. Can I at the very minimum get that, and that built? At least then potatoes can keep passing until we get the sugar built. All right, sugar. We're just going to come up to a farm. I already have had messages about you guys not being able to output your veggies, so we're going to swap out a veggie patch for a sugarcane patch. Yeah, the best thing about this food build is I can just put all the different food types on their corresponding belts. And then the food processor build just sorts everything for me, takes care of everything for me, and spits me out the final food products at the other end. It does make life a whole lot more simple. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to come to here, and I want to make some small alterations. Yes, I want to grab our veggie belt here to here. Yeah, can I remove that? And can I have you intentionally get out of my way? Cool, that's belt number 1. Belt number 2 being the potatoes belt. I want to do the same. I want to go from, about here to here, and I want to raise that up. Yep. And then you can get dropped back in place. Cool. And we're having another medical crisis right now. Yeah, it seems about right. Okay. The last thing I need to do is this pipe. I want to remove this pipe as well because I'm going to put in today a mix of temporary and permanent. Yep. We're going to be putting in a bit of both types of structures today because I need to permanently put in the belts required to get all the food types from here, down to here. But I also temporarily need to put in the belts around this corner because this corner is going to be changing. I've already gone after we cleared out the coal mine, and put in a nice slope here, which I want to have that slope continue through here. Which means I need everything to move over slightly, which means I need copper mine to disappear. Yep. Can I have you guys actually dig out the copper over here, please? That'd be really awesome. Just throwing it out there. Super awesome. It would be super duper awesome. Okay. All right. And matter of interest, you are not at all built yet. Cool. All right. So what I need to do now is I need to put in a couple of staples, a couple of things that we know we're going to need to have. So I need eggs. Eggs are going to have to come out. We're going to use a type 1 belt. I'm going to just take you... Please plug in. Thank you. Straight to left. Not going to even think about this one too hard. Oh, are we? We might think about this one a little bit. Yeah. No, actually, we'll put it in as guideline first. Okay. I have a straight belt through to here. Cool. Yep. Please stop. All right. Can I grab a big bridge? A big bridge because I need to get vehicles in here. There are some boxes we're going to have to be able to service. And can I put the bridge, say there? So my plan is I need to get vehicles in here, which means I need to have some sort of distance that we need to run all these belts through, all 11 of them. Yes, 12th one's over there. So all 11 belts need to run through here in some way, shape or fashion. And then they need to run from here down to, where we're going to be putting in our food. On top of that, I am going to need to put in a bridge, probably hard up against this thing. And we're going to have to bring in our food through the bridge and then plug them into each one of these. So our first one is, can I get a flat belt? Flat belt, flat belt, flat belt. Flat belt's the far left. Okay, can I have you go left a little bit? Flat belt. So you are going to be, our first belt would end up being tofu. So you would store tofu, thank you very much, and you'd also be storing tofu. Yes, I put 2 of them in the same box. I could split them, but I really don't care. The second one, which is actually one I care about, is going to be veggies. So I need to move veggies over here, and rather having a giant storage box right before the drop-off, Well, because it's being delivered by bolts and the builder's right here with a big storage box at this end, I don't have to worry about a second storage box. We're just going to have the one up there service everything down here. Can I slide that bridge over? I can. I slide over 2 tiles in the end after these 2 belts go away, which these 2 belts will be going away. Does that help me? Not really. Cool. All right. I guess we're going to live with where it is currently. All right. Can I have veggies? Veggies going to come from here. They're going to come to here. They're going to come to here. And then I need to go around that. So I guess you're going to go into this lane. Okay. Then we're going to raise you up. Do I keep you flat? If I keep you flat, people can't get in here to harvest these until we get to here where I'm going to raise. Let's go flat for a bit. Because I do want to get... Do I? It's a really hard question. Yeah, I think I'm going to raise it. I think I'm going to keep it flat for a bit, then we'll raise it. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the whole lot's going to be temporary. We'll find out. Okay, can I bring my veggie belt? This whole corner here doesn't matter. It's all temporary until we, completely rearrange and remove what I have there existing. Well, it's just a nightmare that we're going to be ignoring. Okay, can I come through here? I want to have at least a 4-tile gap so I can sort of stack the belts through this area. So that should be about fine. And same story here. I want to have at least a 4-tile gap so I can stack the belts. And you are the veggie belts. So technically, you should already be 1 tile off the ground. Oops. Okay, can I come all the way back to here, please? Yep. Can I have you go 1 tile up? That way we can put the tofu belt underneath you. Can I come to there? Can I go to 3 tiles out? Yes, please. And then if that's the tofu, no, that's the whatever it was, cake, I don't know, whatever the last belt is. So I need to come to, let's just go with here for right now. We'll put a little angle on it, and then we'll come to this end. Okay, so from this end, I need to get tofu out. I don't need people to access these boxes in the future, so I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is that bridge. So actually, let's go this side to this side. Cool. So if this is my far outside, and we can go to here. This means this should be fairly easy to actually run. So if that is going to be tofu into there, this is going to be veggies. Veggies are going to be able to come to here. They're going to be able to head in a dead straight line under this bridge. Okay, that went connected to something else, didn't it? Yeah, of course it did. Thank you. Can we go from here? Oh, hold down shift. Excellent. Can we go to here? Does that connect? Does it connect? Oh, it does connect. Nice. Except you're at the wrong height. But whatever. We can have them move to a different height when they get here to the corner. Yes. Because they're going to block things no matter what. Okay. Can I have you go to there? All right. So that should be my veggie belt in theory. Can I get that built? Can I get that built? Can I get that part built? And then can we come to here, 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 here? That's all being built. That's all being built. That's all being built all the way down to here and into veggie box. Okay. Can I get the bridge built? That's probably important because I've already blocked off a whole lot of trucks and they're probably not particularly happy about it. All right, so that's veggie belt. Veggie belt is now done. In theory, vegetables now hooked up from, well, the food processing area all the way down to the town. And, well, the box is not full yet because once it fills up, they actually exit the exit for the main bus, I guess you call it, and then go back onto the main bus and off to a dump system, which we haven't built and we're not going to be building at least today. You guys are the clearing crew and you guys are complaining because you probably have all your boxes are full. No? No idea. No idea, but you've cleaned out this mountain at least, so that's a good start. All right, can I go to this? Okay, dirt area has been done. Nice. Okay, if the dirt area has been done, can I have the dirt crew start working on this one? Where I have them go, well, from here to here. There's a little bit of cleanup around the edges to do. And can I get all of that area done? And all of that area. Yep. And can I also get that part done? Can I have this done? And we can do this part. And yeah, that area is going to have to it just needs a clearing crew to come back and just give it a second trim. Okay. So you are idle. Come on. I need this part built. Nobody deliver the rubber. Can I just, you need that? So as soon as this is connected, as soon as this is running end to end, then it means I can remove the existing food delivery belt. It is running end to end. Sure, no food's there yet, but it does mean that rather than me running the flat belt down and well, all the way around, we're going to cut that right there, and that way I can run the food straight across. All right. Can I? Yep, I thought that might happen. You're jammed because nobody built these belts. Can I get that built, and that built? No, I can't get that built because I don't have 7 construction parts. Cool. I now have 7 construction parts. It's that bad. As fast as we're making them, we're using them. But you are now built, which is nice. Cool. Can I have you edit area? Can we do a rectangle? I want a rectangle from here to here. Actually, probably more like, you know, here to... Yeah, that seems about right. Cool. Can I put you about here? And can I have a dig command? All of it. Indiscriminately, just remove everything. Yep, I just need to find a bunch of copper. All right, so I need to have a digging crew available for them, which means we're going to be heading back to our clearing crew. Yep, can I drop 5 off there? And that brings you down to 6 vehicles. Can I drop 3 off this? Can I also drop 5 off that? Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go to the new mine that is all about the copper stuff. Can I have you have all those trucks? Plus at least 5, 6 of those guys. And I'm also going to probably, more importantly, going to, for the very moment, go to the copper box. You have an import, but I need to crank that priority way the hell up because, well, I need to have that happening more often than not going forth, at least until we replace that with some sort of belt, which is probably outside the scope of this video. All right, so veggie's now moving. This veggie belt has been disconnected, which means when it clears this point, I can then remove the veggie belt all the way back, which will give me some construction parts, which is really nice. All right, so with veggies done, I need to come back into here. We have corn next. So can I get a U-shaped belt? We're going to come from here to here, and then hopefully you are just a straight shot through to here somewhere. Yep, and then when I get there, I want to click, raise you up to be height number 2, and then you go that way. And well, from here on, I don't care. That's a later jetty problem. We're going to leave that one right there. Okay, so that is our corn. After that, we get potatoes. Potatoes can come to here. Potatoes can then come into that bridge, but they're going to hit into a wall, but that's fine. We just drag them straight for the moment. And then about here, they can pop out a tile so they get under this bridge. Actually, I'm going to stack them. So no, this one's going to go flat on the ground. Yes. Okay, if this one's going to go flat on the ground, can I have this come all the way up to the bridge? Then they can move up a tile, and then they can permanently stay in this tile because I want to run the belts about 3 high. Like 4 lanes of 3 high should be everything I need. Okay, can I bring this through to here? We need to have a corn belt to come through this gap somehow, somewhere. So I'm going to intentionally leave myself a 1 tile-ish gap till we get to, say, here. And then I need to come down here somewhere. Yep, and somewhere is going to be the exactly what I'm going to be doing. It's all going to be a whole lot of, that looks good, roughly that. Yep, something like that, because, like I said, that part's temporary. All right, can we come to here? Can we come to about here? From here, can I go to the ground? And you should hopefully be able to come. So we had corn, and then this is taters. So that means that one over there is corn, and this one should be taters. Yes. Can I have the tater belt? Can you raise up? No, because you have a belt above you. So I need you to come through at ground level, through to here. You already have 1 belt beside you, and therefore that should be taters. Okay. Can I get that belt? Can I also have you sorted to be taters and taters? And can I get that one built as well? Right, so in theory, if I haven't screwed up anything, then that should be ready for taters to go from A to B as well. These are only Mark 1 belts. I'm really hoping I can avoid Mark 2s just because of, well, they need construction parts 3. And yes, veg is now backed up on the main line. That's sort of expected. This has not been done because that requires rubber and it looks like a truck can't reach it. And that has been done because it looks like a truck can't reach it. Cool, there's going to be a few of those inside this belt. But this one is 6.9 unit. I'm just going to spend it because I want to see that moving at least. And you are full, and that is because we brought through some of well, the sugarcane. I haven't done anything with it, so I need to have well, this balancer. No, hang on. Corn goes into which box? It is this box. Okay. So I need to have this balancer built for corn. I also need to have the belt that travels underneath, built for corn, I keep saying corn, For sugarcane, I need to have this belt, this sort of belt, this one built, this sort of built, this one, and then I need to have this box, which is going to be our first big dilemma. It's 120 construction parts, and I have 73 to my name. So that's going to have to take a minute or two before they even consider completing that. And then on top of that, every single belt through here is at least a Mark II, which means they're all construction parts 3 as well. It's intentionally done that way because at the time you're normally building in these sorts of builds, you have plenty of those parts, and everything needs at least a Mark II belt to sort of have the throughput we require. So with us waiting for that, let's just work on the very next belt, which is going to be Stackaroos. Then we Stackaroos out, and you at the end of the day need to go on top of taters. So we're going to bring them out. We're going to put them on top of taters. We're going to come through to here. Come on. Yep. Then I go around the corner. You're already on top of taters, so you should be ready to go. Can I bring you to here? Can I bring you to here? And then can I come through to here somewhere? No, because you're going above. I don't want you to go above anymore. Cool. All right. You were delivering our veggies. I don't need this belt anymore. So if I get rid of that, that should give me a bunch of construction parts, which means hopefully I can, where the hell's that box? Do that. So box is now built. We can at least start bundling up the sugarcane for later. All right. On top of that, I have now got sugarcane and taters are both sorted. At least they have a box. So in theory, I also don't need this belt anymore. So we're going to disconnect that. And that means I can unpause this belt. I can remove you one tile further back. You flippy flippy. Thank you very much. And can I flip that? And then I can delete this that we put in temporary. Yep. You can go away. You can go away. You can go away. You can go away. And once you're empty, you can also go away. Come on, hurry up. Okay, you can also go away. All right. So once this belt's empty, I can delete this. This one I can already delete because it's already empty, and it is there. They had a belt speed change. Okay. So that can get packed up. That one can get packed up shortly. And then, can I run things through here nicer? Probably. Okay. Are all the potatoes on the right-hand side of this build? There's 26 on this side of the build. Oh, can I get rid of that? And the other, most of them are over there. Cool. You're now empty. You're not going to get any more veggies, so I don't need you, and I don't need you. You have taters, and realistically, I'd like the taters over here. So what we might do is, can I copy that to there? Does that work? No. Okay. Can I cancel you? And can I cancel you? That should put a whole bunch of taters over there. It does. Can I then filter that back? Where the hell are you taking those taters? It's full. Okay. Please don't do that. Can I turn off delivery, please? And can I turn off taking stuff out of the box? All right, we're just going to have to wait for you to be empty. Can I turn off this? And can I set you to empty now? And then once you're empty, that should be fine. And we should be good to go. All right, so that brought whatever it was, corn, stack, something to this-ish location. All right, on to our next belt whilst we wait for more construction parts to roll in. So then we have fruit. Fruit can come out here. They can go there. And we should be able to run this just straight through. No, it needs to come through to here and then can move up a tile. Okay, can I come to there? Can I come up a tile? And then you are technically meant to go on top of whatever the last belt was. So can I have you, can I go to this ground level? Yeah. Okay, can I go to here? And then we go on top. And then we can come through to here at height number 2. Yep, and then I can just ditch you like I do with all prom princesses right there. Cool. All right, so you are now done as well. All right, next one is going to be cake. Cake needs to come out and... okay, you went up. You were not meant to go up. Please don't do that. And then you came down over here. Okay, can I remove that? Can I click that? And can I come from here to... Yeah, okay, all right, so then we go to cake. All right, cake needs to come out. Cake needs to go on top of that belt, so we're going to straight away put in a lift. And you can then go from here to well this corner. Yep, outer tile, and then in theory you should be able to come to here, except this is actually the next belt along, which means you're actually on the ground. Yeah, it's going to get confusing. That's fine. You have me here to hopefully guide you through this process, hopefully, providing I don't get confused either. All right, so those belts are both moving. You're a 60 belt, which is definitely going to cause me problems because I have a feeling we're eating taters faster than that. We're eating taters at a rate of 150 because we don't have any veggies. The veggies are just arriving. When the veggies start arriving, you have a demand of 60, and that drops down my demand. No, it still says 180. Okay, vehicle pollution 4. Cool. Can I go to research then? Can we add vehicle pollution back in the list, which now costs 5,000, used to cost 2 and a bit, and adds ships in there as well. Can I? So your upgrade costs 113. Your upgrade cost is 106. Can we do the 106 for taters? Because I seem to have lots of taters. And well, we already know in theory we need 150 of them. I'm assuming I grow 150 of them. I actually haven't confirmed that, not in the slightest. And construction parts. I have 400. Okay, can we do this one as well? At least then I feel a little bit more reassured with the amount of food we're actually transporting down to the village. All right. So with those 2 belts done, we're gonna leave our extra belts for a little while because I really need to start working on sugar. We don't have a lot of sugar yet, but I need to at least start applying the construction parts to where they need to go. So when sugarcane comes out, it needs to go forward, obviously, into a food processor. The food processor is going to take in our sugarcane, mix it with a little bit of water, and give us actual sugar along with biomass. So we have a byproduct we need to deal with. I need to plug water in there, obviously. I need to have the 2 output belts, and then we're going to deal with the biomass first. The biomass comes on this very long belt. I've taken liberty with some of these belts and pipes to merge them together because normally they're in separate pieces for each of the blueprints, and it makes them a little bit harder to track. But we're going to do the first ones on easy mode. So it comes through here. It merges in 2 locations. So our first one was here, where we're picking up biomass from our Snackaroos production, and then our second spot is here, where we're picking up actual animal feed. Extra animal feed also heads in the same location for being burnt off, because if I have too much of any product, I need a way to get rid of it, and to get rid of it, we're going to be putting it into one of these guys. These guys are going to take a little bit of water plus a little bit of our biomass or our animal feed, if I have extra animal feed, and burn it. When we get for that, we're going to need a little bit of water, which comes from this side. We're also going to need that pipe. Also going to need our output. Our output is obviously steam, and that's going to come this way and go through this balancer. Now, in theory, you want to head out here and you want to set off thermal desalination. Why? Because this physical process requires an awful lot of water. Food processing requires an awful lot of water. The chicken farms require an awful lot of water. So if you can take this excess byproducts that you have and turn them to steam to then turn them into water, well, that's very advantageous. Also, it gives you brine. Brine gives you access to salt, and salt is another thing that this food processor uses an awful lot of. So I highly recommend brine. You could also, if you wish, turn it into power, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, so that's one part of the process done. Obviously, if you're going to be burning things, you're going to be creating some exhaust. The exhaust also needs to come out and head over here into the same balancer, and then can go into the exact same chimney. I could instead, if I wish to, enable the exhaust scrubber, but that's more complications and more things that we're going to leave for right now. I'm going to ignore them. All right, so that's at least the biomass dealt with. Great. If we head back to the start, cool, we can look at the other belt. The other belt's going to output sugar. Sugar needs to come out. It needs to go into this balance. This balance has a priority out to left, so we're going to follow the belt to left, and you head over to here, where you go through a merge, a split, or whatever, and then you continue on in small belt segments, because this one I didn't go and merge together. So we're going to keep building this forward and forward and more forward and more forward, and eventually you get to your destination being right here. Right here, you're going to head into this very first machine, which is going to take in some sugar plus some ammonia and some oxygen and give us antibiotics plus some CO2. The CO2 actually pops out over here and goes into that exact same chimney, actually different chimney to one we were looking at before. And that chimney lets us, either vent it or using construction parts 4, I can turn that into graphite, which is definitely something I want to do. So can I have that built, and that built? All right, you also need a few other products. You're going to need to have oxygen and you need to have ammonia. To get those, I need to have, the oxygen and the ammonia pipes be built all the way along. And then I need to go find the oxygen. Oxygen's coming in right here from these 2 chimneys. Yes, it comes from the chimney pipes. It also comes from over here where we have a couple of electrolyzers. The electrolyzers are going to, importantly, use construction part 4. And then I'm going to take a little bit of water, split that to give me a little bit of oxygen plus a little bit of hydrogen, and that should be enough that I can make my antibodies. And I'm going to automatically turn on 2 of these machines because I know for a fact I'm going to need 2 of them. All right, so that is one half of the process done. The other half of the process is I need to have ammonia. Now, to get ammonia, I need to take hydrogen plus some nitrogen and add those 2 together. The good news is I just found hydrogen. It's right here. As for the bad news, I don't have any of the nitrogen. And the good news is an air separator, which also provides oxygen, which I did say I need a little bit of, also gives me nitrogen. So I need to have you built, and you built. All right, so oxygen can be vented if I don't need it. And if I do need it, well, we're going to use it first. And you are going to get me, the nitrogen together with the hydrogen is going to give us our ammonia. So that's all we need to have for medical. Yep. Medical antibiotics. Yes. We don't have medical 1. Nor do we have medical 2 because I don't have medical 1. But if I have both of these guys built, which should output to our right, we should be able to get this built, this built, this built, and this built, and that means I can make medical 2. But I still don't have the other ingredient required for medical 2, which is medical 1. Medical 1 comes from here, which is fine. I just need 2 ingredients. I just need to have a medical equipment and I need to have a disinfectant. So I obviously need to have this machine done and your corresponding belts. One of them is going to come and give me medical equipment, which requires steel and also plastic. And I need to have, 2 of those machines running to have one of the next machines. So we're going to unpause 2 of those guys. I'm going to unpause their output belts. I also need to do the other import belts, which comes from over here from the looks of it. And you you are going to provide our disinfectant. Disinfectant requires plastic, which we still haven't tracked down yet, and also ethanol, which we definitely haven't tracked down. So can I get that part done? Can I get that part done, that part done, and that part done? Because the top one right here happens to be plastic. It comes from this belt, which then comes, let's go split in it there, comes from this core of the map. Now, I am definitely not going to produce plastic down here to then ship it over to here at the far right hand side and then drag it all the way down. So what I actually want to do is I want to pause this belt before anybody spends any time and effort on it. I want to grab a box. We're going to put it in a temporary box right here. It's going to be for plastic, and we're going to bring in our plastic from this end. So can I get a flat lift? Can we flip you around? Can I attach you to that pipe, belts, whatever? And we're going to get you, and you built. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my plastic very locally to just run these 2 machines. But you still don't have ethanol. So if I click on the ethanol pipe and we follow that back, it looks like it's a very, very long pipe, which makes it a little bit easier to track. And then it comes from, this little connector right here, which obviously comes from the tank. So, the pipe that comes from the tank. So I have a very, very big tank. Also, that comes from a splitter. The splitter is telling me that it should prioritize into the tank, which is very, very good. And then it still needs to come from the source, which is this pipe here, which is, another one of these fermentation tanks. So a fermentation tank requires sugar, which we've already processed. We remember we did this right here, but it's already processed now. It's fine. Wrong button. And you also need to have, oxygen. So first off, let's get your sugar. Can I get you built? Can I get you built? Can I get you built? Which comes back to that original splitter we saw many, many moons ago. And then on top of that, you need oxygen. You need to have 16 units worth of oxygen. But the bad news is you only output 36, because it turns out, and I only just realized this, that the devs changed the ratio for this. So I need to relook at this, possibly. And that is going to get you our ethanol. Also going to give you some CO2. The CO2 goes in the giant CO2 pipe, which I also need to unpause all the way up the map, please. Thank you. Yep, more of it, more of it, more of it. No, that was wrong. Whatever that is, pause it. Can I unpause you, and unpause you. Okay, that comes back and dumps our CO2 here, where we can turn it into graphite. If I can ever get the damn thing built. All right, on top of that, I still needed steel. Steel was here. Can we grab the steel belt and the steel box? We're just going to import the steel for right now. And that should, in theory, be medical too up and built. I haven't dealt with a lot of overflows. I haven't dealt with a lot of other systems, but in theory, that should be everything we need. Can I get you built with the power of Uni? Can I get you built? Can I get you? Nope. Can I get the pipe built? Yes. Can I get the other pipe built? Yes. So you need 40 parts. I have 11. Surprise, surprise. I also need to have this pipe. Technically, I don't need to have that one, but we're going to build it anyway. I have that one. I have this short 2 little 1-segment pipes, please. I have a slightly bigger pipe to go and take that into the balancer, which then goes through the balancer into, I know I can't afford the tank, into here, where it then exits and heads onto the main bus line, which is obviously built. Looks like, yep, it's definitely built. It looks like it's going to this guy right here, which is everything I need. Yes, everything I need the ethanol for right now. So that's the plan. That's where we're up to. That's what we need to do. And I just need a whole lot more construction parts. Can I? Nope. Can I? Yep. Can I do that one? Can I? I also need to do that one and that one for steel. And then I just need the ethanol down here. The ethanol down here is a bit of an issue because not only are we missing a certain amount of buildings, we're also missing construction parts to get those buildings built. So can I uni you? Not much I can do. Can I uni you? No, you are 40. So I can't afford you yet. You are, well, almost built, which is probably pretty good. You need to be built first before we actually start outputting ethanol. Okay. And meanwhile, so you start outputting sugar. The biomass can head straight up to the end of the belt. It's going to be burned off there. It'll give us steam. Currently, we're just venting the steam because I need to burn it into something. I could put down just normal burners, but we should be okay for water right at the moment because I do not have chicken farms up and running. Okay, so with that done and at least planned out, I need to talk about our friends. So our friends over here, you have a whole bunch of potatoes. You have a whole bunch of potatoes. We also have our veggies. We're using 100 veggies per month and also 100 potatoes per month. Okay. You have 900 left. Can I pause you? Yep, so we can't eat potatoes from there. That means we have to eat potatoes from here. That means you'll be done in like 10 months and I should be able to empty you. Okay, that's a great start. All right. Fluid storage, low supply of water. Yeah, I'm not sure how you got filled back up, but sure. That should be fine. That means you can't back up. And in theory, as long as you get water coming here, we should be good and grand and everything should keep running. All right, as for our clearing crew is working their way through here slowly. And as for our copper guys, they've only just started. They do have all the buckets right here, and I really want to upgrade these buckets to the next tier, but I also really don't have construction parts. Okay, yep. And how the hell are we going to get that down and into here? That one I don't have any ideas of. Well, I have ideas, but they're all bad ideas. They're bad ideas, not as in bad for fitting the purpose of getting what I need done. More like bad. The devs are going to be very mad if I happen to use those methods. But it's an option. It's an option. As is running out of copper ore, which means I'm getting closer and closer to leading to bad options. All right, can we get that dug? We have done the dirt here. We are, where are we? Over here, we're filling this slowly. These guys still need to finish. And actually, if I go to the clearing crew, you guys are not allowed to dump anything. If I give you an allocation from this very top, all the way down to the very bottom, in theory, you can go dig out those tiles. I don't know if you're actually going to go do it because they're further away from the tower, but there's always a chance. All right. So, construction parts, we're at 54. Do we have you built? No. Can I have you built? All right, so that gets that one done. You need a whole lot still, which is probably the wrong order to do things because you can start processing sugar. You can't really put the ethanol in the tank, but one problem at a time. Okay, and if you can't do that, you can't access the overflow yet because I haven't built the overflow. So I just need to have this built, and then in theory, possibly, okay, definitely not. Okay, can I have you be built? you be built. You can get built as well. Can I have that one be built? And that should let sugar pass all the way up. Looks like it will now. And not we can do a whole lot with it just yet, but it's more the thought that counts. Okay, so you have no ethanol, so we haven't made any parts 1, and therefore we definitely haven't made parts 2. And you don't have. Why don't you not have? Do you have any bikes? No, you don't have any bikes. Why not? Oh, probably because I didn't build that pipe. Also, I didn't build that pipe and that pipe. And you are going to the right. I think I need to have both of these guys built. Just because of how complicated the maths is and me having to run the fluid in 2 different directions. I think that's correct. Okay. So it's flu season again. Can we go in here? Can I give ourselves a health boost? And at the same time, can I build another house? Where the hell is our housing? Can we go with this one? All right, can I get you built? I'm not going to spend the parts on that because again, I can't afford them. And the iron mine is technically at this stage done, which is cool because it means I can definitely remove that. I can take the organic fertilizer pipe and remove it to the corner here and then over to here. Come on. Yep. And then I should be able to put a connector there, remove that, and we should be able to build that side and remove that side at the bare minimum. And I'm sure I swapped over that, but okie dokie. And you're now done. Cool. Can I put you here? All right. You need 1400. Cool. Where definitely do that. I could upgrade one of these guys, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Cancel. I just need to unpause somebody. Can I well, I just unpaused that one by building it, I guess, technically. Well, I did now. All right, so it gives us more housing. More housing should give us more people. And... Okay, medical needs that one machine, I believe. Yes, the tank's done. So ethanol can now pass from this to who knows where, all the way down here somewhere. You have some ethanol, great. So you're crafting. You have some medical 1, you're crafting. You don't have anything yet because you still don't have nitrogen, which means I'm just going to, well, have you built? Yeah, have you built is probably going to be the better answer. Okay, so you should now put out my ammonia. That's what I'm looking for. Ammonia. You should then dump that into these guys. Yes, and oxygen. Did I miss your oxygen pipe? It's full right there. That's going the wrong way. I thought I'd do it. Okay. This is why I test the blueprints first. Okay, always test them first, at least as best I can. Maybe not with a fine-tooth comb, but I definitely do my best to test them to make sure everything works fine. And, well, occasionally a mistake slips through. But with that done, I should, in theory, be able to, well, start getting some medical 2. Medical 2 is going to come up to here and then into that balancer. Normally, it would go straight into medical 3. But I don't have medical 3. I can't research medical 3. I could probably research medical 3 at the end of the day if I really wanted to. But it would cost me a crap ton because I can't make electronics 3. And it'd actually be cheaper, probably in the long run, to just set up electronics 3 and then get this research done rather than, well, try and force the issue. But what I can do is I can uni build you and I can uni build you, and then I can get a crappy belt and a crappy belt, please. Crap belt, please. Turn off. Oh, that's what I need to do. Good. And then can I bring you out to this side of medical, and you would be the topmost of the outside belt. Okay, so can you come to height 3? No. Yeah, height 3 here, height 3 here, height 3 here. That's going to be a problem, but we can leave future JD to work out how he's going to fix that. We're just going to go to here for now. I have like a 5 belt gap or something, so that's definitely also a later JD problem. Because I don't know how big that gap's going to be. And as I said before, but a lot of that is technically temporary, so it doesn't matter. Can I bring you to here? Come Come on. There you go. Here. All right. If I do that, can I come to... I guess we're going to lose that tree placement. Okay, so I have 3, then I have 4, then I have 3, plus I didn't have another 2. Okay, so I think as this is technically the far outside belt, technically, we're going to drop this down to ground level, sort of at the same place as all the others. We're going to come all the way through to here, and that one, and then come through to here, because obviously you're going to have to go as close as possible. And then can I bring this all the way through to here, which I need to stop. So please stop. So that was veg into veg land, which I don't have anymore. That is veg as well. That is an empty box. That is an empty box. That is a pause box, which we're now going to unpause. I don't like it when I unpause and then it goes ding like that. That was the potato belt. That's the potato box. That's the other potato box. And therefore, I should be able to take this belt and plug this in right here. Okay, with that done, in theory, cool, there's 160 parts I did not have to spend. I should be able to get that done, back to here, back to here, back to here, back to here. All of this done, all the way through to here, in one single swipe. And come on! Oh. Okay, slag. Are we dumping slag? No. We could be dumping slag. That's the important thing. Can I remove that? Actually, yes, we can dump slag here. Can I get you? I need to go to the slag machine. Yep. Can I edit area? A rectangle. Can we go to? Where are we? This side. Okay. I need to have this to here. Yep. I slide you. No. Okay. Right there seems to be like the spot. Okay. And then can I have you guys do flat 4, and then remove that stuff, and then a flat 4 to there. Cool. All right, so we can start dumping a last little bit of slag in there, and that should hopefully solve that problem. Or really solve this problem if the belt was actually finished. Okay, with the belt finished, we now have medical supplies on the belt. We're making them a rate of 24, only like 21 or something, so that should hopefully solve that problem. And it just means I need to wait for, no, I need 19. That's fine. I just need to wait for all the materials to get here. Once they get here, that should solve our medical problem. It also means that, providing I can build a few more things in the current infrastructure, we should be in a case where I could, rapidly turn on more of this. All depends on how many construction parts I want to spend on it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need at least another one of you. Yep, and you make enough oxygen to technically run 2 of them. So can I do 2 of them? Yep, and 2 of those. And then, of course, there was, what was it? Research. No, I don't want to improve science just yet. I think science should be fine as is. These I might have to improve, probably more likely than anything else. But yes, this is where I want to leave this. We have medical supplies. They are getting there slowly. And when they do, that means they should hopefully, thankfully, fix my small problem I had with diseases. Because you have... Where does it say? It doesn't say. Does it say in here? No. It definitely says somewhere. What's that? Medical supplies to get us. No. Okay. G, find medic. No, it doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us. It will when they get to the building. It'll tell us what it decreases our mortality rate by and how much health bonus. Actually, how much health bonus is already written there from memory. 20. There it is. Mortality rate. So it's going to reduce the mortality rate by 1%. So if it means we have a 1.1, this will bring it down to just 0.1. If we have 0.8 or something, it won't affect us at all. But this is where I'm going to leave this episode. How many construction parts I went through, I have no idea. But I'm very, very happy I have 280 left, especially if copper's now basically getting full. And that means I need to organize deliveries down here. But that's definitely going to happen, in the next episode, because I am thoroughly out of time, as always. If you enjoyed the video, can you do me a favor? Can you leave me a like? If you didn't enjoy the video, then I don't know, by all means have the like back, but I'm just not going to get you anywhere, I guess. And as for this particular build, if you're interested, it is available to Patreon members. One of the reasons I'm doing that this time around is it just takes so long. This was just an update to an existing blueprint, and it still took me like 6 or 8 hours to strip out all the belt Mark III to downgrade them belt Mark II. Same with the pipes. There were lots of Mark III pipes in here. They got downgraded to Mark IIs in a lot of cases. And also, well, did my best to make the whole lot a little bit shorter because it was already a little bit longer than this. Let's put it that way. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm definitely going to leave here. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the very next video. Bye.